Hey, this guy's number 2. This guy's a pretty good football player. This guy's a sophomore and had 133 yards tonight. Had an interception. Had 30 yards pass receiving. Caught several balls. Had some hits. You had the hit of the week. The Bad Boy Mowers hit of the week down here on the goal line. What an effort! I mean, you guys, you weren't on the team last year, but I want to talk a little bit about that game first. We came over here and got whipped pretty good. This week in practice, what was Coach Hansley and the rest of the staff? What were they kind of like? And tell me how practice went this week for you guys.
We were just dang.
You're all right.
Coach Hansley just telling us to hit and hit.
Yeah.
Drive them back and just make plays.
Yeah, and you're making plays.
Yes, sir.
You make plays on both sides of the ball.
Yes, sir.
What do you like better, offense or defense?
Defense.
You like defense a little better?
Yes, sir.
Well,
like to hit.
Yeah, I like it. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. Well, hey, listen, you are sensational at what you do, and what I notice about you, Theron, is tremendous effort that you have on both sides of the ball. I mean, when you're running the ball, you're looking to get yards, you have tremendous speed, and you're looking to hit people. When you're on defense, you're looking to hit people. So you like the defense a little better for the hitting part.
Yes, sir.
All right, let me look at your hat right here, and this is do your job. I know what it is. Now tell me a little bit about what each one of these is probably for. Not every one of these.
Some is for touchdowns.
Okay, get one for a touchdown.
Leading rusher.
Okay, leading rusher in the game. Yeah, cool.
Big plays.
Big plays. Big hits.
And wins.
Oh, you get one for a win too. Cool.
Yes, sir.
Cool. So look at Theron's helmet here, folks. Look at this. I mean, it's.
I got the most on the team here.
I bet you do.
Yes,
I bet you do. I know you count them up, and they're all over here. Do your job. Do your job. Do your job. And I do want to ask you this. I said when you get on the air, I said the only thing we got to say is hello, and you say
hello.
It's Theron O. Hey, but great effort tonight. You're the Georgia Motor Company Player of the Game, and I know I got to visit with you over at Coach Reynolds' house, and I know that family means a lot to you, and you spend a lot of time over there. And Chris is your buddy, and Miss Amanda and Coach take care of you, and I appreciate you coming join us up here.
Yes, sir.
Keep that head straight. Get ready for these Osceola Seminoles. We got a lot of football to play, you know it?
Yes, sir.
I'm looking forward to it, Theron. Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you, too.
Number 2, the guy that's got do your job all over his helmet right here. He's the Georgia Motor Company Player of the Game and a 1,000-yard rusher. Not bad work for a sophomore. It was the Georgia Motor Company Player of the Game a while ago, Theron Davis, and boy, he did a marvelous job, and we talked about it, Coach, but it's time for the Coach Hansley Show, and Mark Hansley, head football coach, athletic director of the Newport Greyhounds, and Coach, we're going to be playing for a conference championship, an outright conference championship this Friday night, but first of all, let's talk about tonight's big win, and I want to talk about it from a preparation standpoint. Tell me what we did this week. And I don't think we had to do a lot, but a testament to you guys as coaches to remind these guys of what happened last year.
Yeah.
Tell us about the week.
Well, I'll talk about how it actually started. Is as soon as Corning is over, I mean, your mind goes to the next opponent, obviously.
Sure.
And this was an easy one to get ready for, just because of the revenge aspect of it. And I told the kids all off season, all spring, all summer. This has been a huge circle game, and you can talk about Hoxie game, and you can talk about how we let that one slip away and we lost that one. We can talk about Osceola. We can talk about how we didn't finish. We can talk about McGee and all, But this game hurt me more than any game last year. It really did.
I know it did.
And so everything coming down to preparation. I mean, I can't tell you how many. I look back at my huddle and how many hours of film I watched this week. It's unbelievable, and because I was just obsessed with them. I mean, it really was. Right. And I'll hand it to our kids. I pushed a lot on them this year for this week for preparation, and they executed.
Well, you execute the game plan, and again, we start out. I mean, we're up 21-0, and also 28-0 in the third quarter, and then it looked like a rout. And then they make a play on us, 28-8, and then the game slowed down a little bit. We had a long pass down here that we thought we were going to get a touchdown, and a lot of things happened. And then the game slowed down.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about the defensive stand down here. They have first and goal from the 9, and these guys are averaging almost 8 yards a carry. They're until tonight.
Yes.
Almost 8 yards a carry. So you said, well, they're scoring 2 plays right here.
Yes.
They didn't get in 4.
If you remember, I've talked about it with us before, is how that is everything to me, is how when we started out the year, we didn't make stops. on the goal line. We didn't make fourth down stop.
Right.
And that's kind of been just a thorn in my side, and something's kind of bothered me. And you're right. I think it was 4th and 3 down here, 4th and goal and 3 yard. But right there, to me, I was thinking at that moment, if you stop this type of offense on 4th and 3,
yes, sir.
a momentum offense, a smash mouth, quick hitting offense, that's a true testament of how prepared and how ready we are to play. And stopped it, and to me, that was the biggest play and what I'm going to remember out of this game more than anything.
I think so too. And I mean, you look back over the course of the game, and they'll always find big plays. But the big stop, because it was, I guess, 28-8 at the time, is fixing. They were fixing to cut it to 2 touchdowns, and anything can happen in a 2-touchdown game. If you're up 3 scores, you feel a little comfortability. Yeah. But boy, they get in there. We may have a different ball game on our hand. But I do know this: tremendous effort. Take Cash, for example, a little awesome, battling the elements of the wind. One quarter we're throwing against that wind, the next quarter we come back and we're throwing wind. But did enough early. You thought the game never was in doubt, and then all of a sudden they were back in it with one little, we have a busted assignment, and they make a play, and again it's 28-8, and you go, uh-oh. But I never felt threatened.
I know.
I never felt threatened.
And that just comes down to our kids making plays. And you're right, the elements did get kind of, I mean, the field just got mashed up. I didn't realize how wet it was out there until we started mashing on it. And Cash had a few overthrows, but, man, let me tell you something. I'm glad to have him. I mean, he puts us in the right spot. He's a true leader out there.
He is a dandy, and I talked with his dad some this week, and I kid Bobby Joe a lot about being his harshest critic. But let me tell you what, Cash is he does what he has to do to win football games.
Well, let me talk about some kids real quick, Dave.
Yes, I got on that.
Because here's what I challenged him at the beginning of the game. I told him the same thing I told him at Hoxie, and if we're going to win this game, we had to do it on the offensive defensive line. And let me tell you something, our defensive line, I challenged them all night. I mean, or all day, or all week actually. I talked about the game is in their hands, and if they can start that wall, we're going to finish it. And I will tell you what, I was so impressed with Dalton and Alex and Spencer Mullinax and Zane Watkins tonight. I thought they did a tremendous job of setting the wall that I've been talking about all week. And offensive line wise, they did what they had to do, and they stayed with blocks.
Ben Black said on the way up here, he said the football game will be won when we're on defense on first down.
Yeah.
The football game will be won on first down. And I bet you, I don't know how many times, but there were multiple times that they got 3 or less on first down. Yep. And they'd been getting 7 and 8 on first down.
And we talked about a lot about how we're going to keep them behind their spot.
Sure.
Because they're a 4-play offense. And we had to keep them behind their spot. And I thought our kids did a great job. Man, I can't talk enough about defensively how we played, and then offensively. The guy I brought up here in Theron, the reason why I brought him up here is any time tonight when we needed a big play,
he made it.
We put him in and he made it.
Both sides of the ball.
Fourth down right on that when we come down here, and we're down there talking about what we want to do, how we're going to get simply a yard and a half, and I said, well, I don't care what we do, but Theron Davis needs to be in there.
He needs to be
because
in the game.
He is one of our studs. He really is. He is one of our studs that when he's got the ball, you feel confident on whatever we're running, inside or outside.
Well, Coach, we're undefeated in the conference, and I'm sure the Seminoles took care of business tonight against Corning. They'll be undefeated in the conference. They're coming in next week. I want to talk a little bit about it. Sure. And I've encouraged our fans.
It's time to,
It's conference championship time, and I spent 2 or 3 minutes there talking about. I was talking to one person. I said I was talking to you, and I want you to come, and I want you to do one thing. I want you to bring one more person. We need a huge crowd.
Yes.
We need our community to battle and circle around and rally around these kids, because these kids are representing me, you, our school, our town, our community. They're representing a bunch of folks. We need a big crowd.
And I put that on them a lot on how much does they're the heartbeat of our town sometimes.
Yes,
this football team
no
is.
doubt.
And I told them down there right on the field is as I challenge them all the time on being a conference championship, to me is beating everybody.
Yeah,
it's beating everybody, and they're right there. They are right there. We talk about conference championship, and we've talked about it. And we talked about it. What's right here. And I'll tell you what I told those kids down there too a while ago is they have rose to whatever challenge I put in front of them. When they had to play fast and tough, we did it. When we had to be gritty against a team like this and make plays, we did it. And I can't say enough about how our kids performed all year, and everything I've asked them to do, they've done it, and it's showing in the win-loss.
Ben, have you got my light, by the way? Where's my light? Show me. We've got it packed up already. Anyway,
would you bring a flashlight this
time? Well, I did it, and
I thought you might have to need it, but they're going to help you out.
Clay Kirtner, and I made a Facebook post, and Ben's going to try to find it. Let me see my light right here. All right, here's my light.
Orange and black too.
You've heard of Friday night lights in Texas and how big high school football is. Clay Kirtner brought this by for me today. This is my Friday night light. Okay, this is my Friday, and he said I had this. It's brand new. It's orange and black. He's got 2008 Friday night light. Property of David Black, Newport, Arkansas. Clay Kirtner, what a great Greyhound fan. Friday Night Light, I got it. We're not going to get
and I'll drop Mr. Clay's name out real quick. He is the most positive guy ever. Whenever he's all about the hounds, and he's always positive with us, and he's a true hound, and I'm glad to have him around.
Conference championship coming up. The Hounds win it here tonight, 35-8.
Yep.
And what was it was an epic battle, and we were just excited about the Hounds getting a victory. And there they go. They're going to turn out the lights.
You need it.
I got my Friday Night Light right here. Coach Mark Hinesley, head football coach of the Newport Greyhounds.